Let's now speak to Jermaine Carelse, the City of Cape Town's Fire Chief. Jermaine, thank you so much for joining us. Really do appreciate it. Perhaps to start here, what is the current situation on the ground and how are emergency services responding? Are there any outbreaks to be worried about at the moment?
Very good afternoon to you and obviously the viewers. At this stage, all is calm in the City of Cape Town. I think we've weathered the storm as from Monday up until, I think, on Boxing Day when we had the disastrous Joe fire. But we have enough resources on scene and boots on the ground for any eventuality.
Yeah. Do we yet know what the causes of the fires may have been?
The two incidents where that people sadly passed on as the result of the fire, those will be investigated by the South African Police Service, and we will be investigating the other incidents and obviously talking to the community members to just find out the source of these fires.
Why is there a difference between some fires being investigated by the police service while some fires being investigated by your function?
Well, fires, South African Police Service, they've got a mandate when there's a fatality concerned.
Right, and so it's due to fatalities, perhaps not suspected arson, to be clear.
No.
City of Cape Town is prone to fires around this time of the year. Is there perhaps a pattern and a reason for that, one on the one hand, but also two, is there a general preparedness and community conscientization around the dangers around fires around this time of the year in particular?
Well, we run massive fire safety campaigns in the city with a media office in tow, and I think the residents are well informed. And especially, it's not during summer season. Fires occurs actually every single day. And with the amount of resources that we have, we are able to respond to each and every incident that is reported to our emergency center.
Yeah, why is Cape Town so prone to fires?
Yeah, I think it's not only Cape Town. I think we're only in the news because we've got the mountains here. But obviously, the conditions is favorable, especially when there's vegetation fires. We've got a strong southeaster, extremely hot conditions, and obviously it's very dry. And when we talk about informal settlements, I think more can be done, obviously with community engagement, but we must commend the brave men and women, those firefighters. And I'm talking in connection with the Joe incident, where that fire could have destroyed more livelihoods, but luckily with the amount of firefighters that we had and that they were quickly on scene, we managed to mitigate the effects of that fire.
Does extreme and adverse weather such as heat waves or inclement weather such as cold fronts play a role in the risk profile of fires around this time of the year in the City of Cape Town?
Yeah, I think we're talking about the fire danger index. There's different color codes. That's a color coding system, and that is generated according to the temperature of the day, the wind speed, the humidity, and obviously when lastly was the rainfall. So when we're talking in the brackets of, say, from yellow, orange, and to red, those are the times that the South African Weather Service sends out the warnings. Then it's extreme conditions, and that is the time that we inform the public that they should not actually go out and have braais because the weather is so conducive and the fire can start so easily with all those factors in tow.
Yeah, so things like avoiding to have a braai on a day of a heat wave when there's dry weather is one thing residents can do. But generally and typically, what is it that residents can do to help themselves, but more importantly, to also help emergency services during seasons like these?
Yeah, I think the City of Cape Town is fortunate enough to have a public emergency communication center. There's one number that they can dial. That number is 107 from a landline, and from your cell phone it's 021-480-7700. And from only calling that number, you will have an emergency communicator on the other side within 10 seconds, and you give that person the information so that they can send out the necessary assistance, be it law enforcement, be it fire, be it traffic. And I think people should be well aware of the conditions when they do go out, especially, as I mentioned, this is the season, the festive season, and it's a season where people love to go out and braai. But they must do that in a safe environment and where there are boards, warning boards to say that you should not braai. I think people should heed that alert.
Jermaine, can I just ask you to repeat those numbers once again, because we'd like to put those up on the screen for our viewers, just a little bit slower this time.
Yes, and I think this is only for the city of Cape Town, and obviously we get a lot of visitors from up north coming down to us. That is 021 480 7700, and that's from your cell phone. And if you have a landline, that would be 107.
Okay, fantastic. And last question here. What is the current risk profile and outlook for the coming weeks and months in the city of Cape Town?
Yeah, I think there's this prevailing hot weather conditions, hot, dry, and windy conditions. But fortunately, we will have another crop of wildland firefighters assisting us.
Oh, Jermaine, we seem to have lost that connection over there. My apologies for that. We'll try and make a reconnection. But right now, Jermaine, we do have you back. Perhaps to just complete that answer there on the risk profile for the coming weeks.
Yeah, I think we will be faced with the same conditions, hot conditions, dry and windy conditions. But as I alluded to earlier on, we will have a crop of about 96 wildland firefighters assisting us. So there's more boots on the ground. And people can rest assured when they come to the City of Cape Town Fire Services are there for each and every one.
Yeah. Jermaine, thank you so much for that. Really do appreciate it. Jermaine Carelse is the fire chief in the City of Cape Town.